Hey everyone, it's Vintage Vinny, and I've got a collective thrift store, eBay, and antique store haul to share with you today. Got a great deal of stuff, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all. Stay tuned! Alright everyone, so without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Got a great deal of stuff, and let's jump right in. So the very first thing that I want to show with you all is something that I picked up at Marshall's. It's not old, but it's definitely a throwback. If you're a 90s kid, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's this really cool Nickelodeon mug. It's got all of the 90s cartoons on it. Rocket Power, Wild Thornberrys, SpongeBob, Hey Arnold, Invader Zim, Rugrats, the whole 9 yards, and I paid, if that's gonna show or not, I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys can see that. $3.99 and then $3.60 with my 10% discount. If I were to sell this on Amazon, I could probably get 20 bucks out of it, and after fees, I'll net about $12. So not terrible, but I'm not gonna sell it. I'm gonna hold on to this and bask in my glory days of my childhood when TV was actually good. The next item is something I got at Ross Dress for Less. I got this really nice jacket, and it's got an 80s vibe to it, and it's my favorite shade of blue. I love just the way it looks. It was $15.99, which I thought was really, really good, because the Nike jacket that I bought at one of the Goodwills in town does not have a hood on it, and I'm very weird about that. It has to have a hood, especially because I'm going to be wearing this in the springtime when it's not so cold. One feature that I'm not crazy about is that when you zip it all the way up, it touches my neck right here. I don't know what it is, but ever since I was a kid, I just don't like people touching my neck. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it or if I should even be describing it to you guys because it is kind of quirky. But what happens is if you zip it up all the way and you put the hood up, it doesn't touch me right there. So I decided to give it a go, and if I decide I want to bring it back, I can go ahead and bring it back. I kept the receipt. Okay, so in no particular order, let me start with the stuff over here. I got this at my Salvation Army. I just thought she was really cool, very retro looking. She kind of reminds me of Belle from Beauty and the Beast. She was $2.50. She's not marked anywhere, but she has kind of a Victorian look, kind of like what Belle would look like. I also have a Cinderella figurine that is Disney from 1960, but there's no way to... She's not really worth that much, but hey, I like her for what she is, because she's got that old world look to her. From the Goodwill, I got this really awesome 70s tumbler with smiley faces all over it. Let me tell you something, I've been looking for this set of glasses forever, and I only found the one, and I'm so bummed. But I'm sure I'll find more of them as time progresses. It was 59 cents, I have to clean it, of course, because it's really dirty. If you guys happen to see this set out there and you want to buy them to resell, you can probably get, I would say, 25 bucks for a set of 6, but it's probably better to have 8. The larger ones, and then maybe a set of smaller ones, you could also get 25 for if you have them in groups of 6 or 8, if you can get them cheap, of course. These are made by Libby. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but at the bottom of the glass here, there is a cursive L, which stands for the Libby Glass Company. They are very cool. I did have a fad where I was going through when I was buying a bunch of smiley face stuff, and same with skulls. I don't really buy them anymore because I'm like, what was I thinking? And I thought I was going to do that with anchors because my room is beach themed, but I've limited myself and said, look, don't buy all that anchor stuff because you're eventually going to realize what the heck were you doing. So I'm keeping that on the DL. Anyway, I thought that was really cool and kitschy, very 70s. The green and the yellow, I just love that. Running with a 60s, 70s vibe, I got this at one of the vendor malls. It's a Pussycats lunchbox thermos from, I would probably say, the mid to late 60s, judging by the different styles of clothing the girls are wearing. And I wish it would focus so you guys can see it better. Let's see if I can get it to focus for you all. Can't guarantee it, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure you guys can still see that, despite being a little bit blurry. I just thought that was really, really cool. And the person who had this originally wanted $49.99 for it. Isn't that ridiculous? But I didn't pay that. They were having a 75% off sale, so I got this for $12.50. I did look it up, and others weren't selling for even $30, but because the shipping price was so high, I think even with that, I could probably sell it for $30 or maybe even $20 to $30, I guess I should say. It's in great condition. There's not a lot of scuffing. There's not a lot of paint loss to it, but it's definitely got a groovy, mod, changing of the times style to it. I just really like that. Now this is something that's not exactly vintage, but it's got that vintage look to it. This is called Bathina. It's a silky, glimmering body balm. It's made by the company Benefit. Now, I don't know where that is sold. I'm thinking maybe Kohl's or maybe even Ulta Beauty, which we have around here. Maybe Nordstrom, which we don't have around here. Or maybe even Target sells it. But I bought it because of the pinup girl that's on it, and I know that that is very, very popular nowadays with everybody going retro. This cost me $3. It is brand new. Never been used. It's got a puff, some powder, some instructions. And I looked this up as I was leaving and noticed that it was actually worth some money, so I paid $3. I can probably get $28 to $30 for it. Alright, next piece I paid $4 for. It's a Shafford 1987 children's dinnerware set featuring Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I did look this set up before I bought it, and there were some that weren't selling for a whole lot because the original box wasn't there. And what's funny is this one comes with the original spoon, which the others did not have. So I think this I will probably be able to get probably 90% more than what I spent, so probably about $40. And of course they'll have to pay shipping, because it's not exactly light. Alright, from the Goodwill outlet, they opened a small one in my town, and I was excited to go to it, so I said, what the hey. If you guys hear a train in the background, I'm sorry. We have a railroad track that is literally within walking distance of my house. Anyway, so, you know, at the Goodwill outlet, you pay by the pound. So I got this one book. This is called Elvis and Me by Priscilla Presley, spouse of Elvis, of course. This book is basically all about how Priscilla met Elvis, what she went through with him, more intimate details about their relationship and things like that. So for 50 cents, I decided to grab it, and I thought, okay, that might be a fun read. And I'm excited to read about it and hear what Priscilla's life was like with him, because Elvis does hold a very special place with me because my dad was born on his birthday just 32 years later, and my grandmother was a huge Elvis fan. I just remembered for many years growing up, all we would listen to in the car when we were going anywhere was Elvis Presley music, whether it be coming home from her job, because she and my mom worked at the same place at one point in time, or if we spent the night at her house and we would go out and just do fun stuff instead of staying in and sitting in front of the TV. Elvis we would always listen to. Return to Sender. Gosh, now I can't even think of some of his song titles. Jailhouse Rock, of course, is another one of my favorites. During Christmas time, all we listened to were his Christmas songs, you know, White Christmas, I'll Be Home for Christmas, all the whole 9 yards. We listened to the whole, just the traditional, like, regular Christmas music. We didn't get into any of the gospel stuff, because my grandmother wasn't religious, but you get the point. Elvis is great, and, well, to me he is anyway, and so I'm excited to read that book. Okay, again, another piece from the Goodwill outlet, or pieces, I should say, happen to be these 1960s, 1970s white, I guess these are dresser or parlor table lamps. They're not very big, and I would assume these probably went on nightstands back in the day. Paid $4 for the set. The only real issue I see is on this one, and there's some crazing. I don't know how well it's going to show up on here, but it's there. I'm thinking because it's a matching set, maybe I'll ask $40. And the only reason I think I can get that is because farmhouse decor is in right now, kind of that shabby chic, rustic look. And white lamps would go with anything, even that style. So I think somebody who's going for a vintage farmhouse look, like a legit vintage farmhouse look, would love these. I'll definitely be mentioning shabby chic, rustic farmhouse in my listing description. I haven't tested them yet, and I think I probably should before I go ahead and list them. I'm going to spend my one day off this upcoming Thursday listing stuff, so you see anything that's interesting to you, you can go ahead and check out my eBay page. It's linked down below, and hopefully it'll be there for you to purchase. So I'm going to be giving these guys a test run, see if they work, and then they'll be up for sale. Alrighty, so running with pinup, I've got a bunch of cool stuff to share with you all. This is a Freeman Eliot calendar notepad from 1950. This is the July month. Now, I've been eyeing this calendar for a long, long time, and I finally got one, and I'll be sharing that with you all in this video. So this one came with, or this calendar pad came with these two studio sketch pads from the mid-50s. It was $49.95 for the 3 items, so $16 for the studio sketches calendars was a great deal, but for this, that seems like a little much, so I might just say I got the calendars for $25 a piece, and then they threw this in, but whichever way, it's going to be the same price anyway, so. Anyway, I posted a picture of this particular piece of art onto Instagram. I have a matchbook that's also this exact same image, but I liked the image of Frosty being so shocked by this pretty girl ice skating. And let's just say I hope this image is somewhat a prediction of reality. Pretty soon we're going to be getting rid of all this snow and Frosty will be a puddle and this pretty girl will still be here. And then this one I liked because it has a sketch of Marilyn Monroe in it. And this one reads, "Gals in gingham suited dad. Blondes and lace for this lad. Ooh, naughty. Ooh, boy." So yeah, I thought that was cool, and the front cover also has Marilyn on it. Okay. So I'm going to go through the pinup arcade cards real quick because that is very time consuming. This one I got individually for $2.50. It came from a Russian country. I didn't see this one at all when I was scrolling through listings for the arcade cards, so I decided to snatch it. I don't think it's an actual arcade card because all it says is made in the US. It's very risque, I mean, if it's 1940 or whatever year this one's from. But I liked it, and like I said, I haven't seen it anywhere else, so I decided to snatch it. Alright, so this lot cost me $10, so $2.50 a piece, so there were 4 of them. This one is entitled, "I got a little behind in my rent." Let's see if I can get it to focus. Doesn't look like it's going to focus for you all, but I'm sure you guys can see that, right? This next one is entitled, "I must get a wiggle on my numbers next." Now, this is just between you and me. This one is entitled, "The Doctor's Holding Me for Observation." Now these ones are just the typical ones that you put a penny in the machine and then they would give you like 1, I think. So I'm just going to go through these real quick and hopefully you guys can see them. I love the girl dressed in a leopard print bikini. Now this is the one that I was going for in that lot. So I paid $20 for, I think it was 5 a piece or 10. So I paid $2 a piece. That's pretty fair. So this is the one that I was going for. It's a girl holding a royal flush, like she's in Vegas. And this I think kind of pertains to reselling. You know, you got to take some gambles and some risks in this business. And sometimes you're going to come out with a royal flush and sometimes you might come out with the worst hand in poker. And I like this girl also in the polka dot bikini. Ain't that cute? Alright, so that's all the arcade cards. So now here is the Freeman Eliot 1950 pinup calendar that I'm going to rummage through real quickly, or at least I hope to. So here is the original envelope. Of course, it's beaten to hell, and I just need to be real careful with it. So here's what the front cover looks like. Let's see how well I can do this, because I don't want to take up too much of you all's time. So here is January. I did post a picture of the February page on my Instagram before I got this calendar. Ain't that sexy? So this I'll be posting in a few weeks for St. Patrick's Day. Here's April. Here is May. Here is June. You guys will recognize this one from the little notepad that I got. Here's July. It's just really awesome art, and I'm absolutely in love with this. Here is August. Here's September. Here is October. I'm excited about this one. I liked this calendar a lot because it's very holiday oriented. It's got a pinup girl for each special time of the year. Here's November. Got a little pilgrim, a naughty pilgrim there. And then here is the Christmas one. So yeah, I thought that was a really good price at $22.50. Other people were trying to charge well over $200 for this calendar, and one day I just decided to go ahead and scroll 1950 pinup calendar, and lo and behold, someone was offering this one at a very reasonable price, so I had to have it. So I'm excited about that. For $5.59 on eBay, I also managed to get a new copy of A&E's award-winning series biography. I got Bob Hope, America's entertainer, starting off in vaudeville and working his way up the entertainment industry. A career spanning 8 decades, he did it all, from Broadway to Hollywood, stand-up to television. So yeah, this was a really good find. I'm excited to watch this. I love A&E biography stuff. It's just that some of this stuff is so hard to find, and I've had to download it from the internet so that way I have it and can watch it whenever I want to without having to be interrupted by stupid ads from Google. So yeah, I'm excited about this, and I will definitely be collecting more if I can find more of the Hollywood stars. These are my favorites. Not that I don't like the ones about American history or anything like that, but I like the old Hollywood cinema better. Just in my personal opinion. It's just much better content. So I hit another antique mall in, it was in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. And this was the only thing I got. It's a 1970s strawberry shortcake doll. I got it for 95 cents. Not a huge profit here, so I'm probably going to sell her for about $5, which is, of course, not the greatest, but hey, 95 cents into 5, that's still a little something. And I didn't want to walk out of there empty-handed, but I also didn't want to spend $1 million just to get out of there either. So I was like, what the hey, I'll pick her up for that. And hey, I'll get a little bit of money out of it. Another small little trinket that I got off of eBay is this little pinup viewer. It was originally $3.99 with best offer, and I sent them a best offer of $2, and then they counter offered it $3. I asked the girl how much it was, and she said it was her grandfather's, and he was born in 1900, so this is most likely from 1940 through 1950, or like late 50s. I don't know if it's going to show up here on camera, but let's see if I can show you all what it looks like in there. I don't think it's going to show, but... yeah, it's a little naughty, but it's just going to go into my jar of old stuff, which I've been meaning to show you all, and I think in one of these videos, maybe my next haul, I'll bring it over and share it with you all. I just don't want to get up and grab it at the moment. So yeah, this is just going to go in my old salad jar full of small trinkets that I don't like to get lost, or don't want to get lost. Okay, so again, with the Goodwill outlet, I don't know how old these are, but I know they're not old because they have Made in China on them. These are new old stock, and I would assume they're probably from the mid to late 80s. They're just plush window clings. They have a suction cup that you can stick onto the window. I have one of these that I got at Goodwill for $1, and I think it was from like 1989, so I thought these would be a cool little addition to my vintage Halloween collection. So those were 36 cents for the both of those, and then I got an OXO spoon or something like that. This also came from the antique shop. This is really cool. This is a fruit bowl by Royal Hager. I don't know how well it's going to show in here, but it is a Hager pottery. It's got a blue interior, and it's got kind of like a sandy, grainy, rough texture. And it only cost me $3. These don't really sell for that much on eBay, and I didn't buy it to resell it. I bought it for myself. There is some cracking in the glaze, and there is a tiny chip right here. But that didn't faze me because it's older, and I mean, what the heck, what do you expect with older stuff? You expect it to be perfect? Actually, I think this is cracked all the way through the actual pottery, but again, that doesn't bother me because I'm going to clean it up and use it. Like I said, these don't go for a whole lot of money on eBay. Someone was asking $6.99 and the shipping was like $11, so I don't think that's worth it at all to me. So I got this one in the color that I liked for $3. He did have it. This guy has really good prices on his stuff, as you can see already. And it had been sitting for the last few months. And like I said, I don't go to antique malls very often because I like to see the inventory change. I don't want to see the same boring crap every time I go in there. So I usually give vendor malls and antique shops a month for the selection to change. And usually I find some pretty good stuff. Sometimes it's just not in my price range, but that's alright. But yeah, this had been sitting there for the last few months, and I said, what the hey, let me go ahead and get it. I'll definitely be using it, cracked or not. And it's just a really cool piece of mid-century modern pottery. Alright, second to last piece is another awesome colored item. It's this really cool Plasticville house for probably a model train. I paid $2 for it. I mainly bought it just because of the color. I love that aqua blue. I have a lot of different stuff in this color. And the garage door flips open. Isn't that cool? Plasticville stuff doesn't really go for that much unless you have a bunch of it and, you know, of course, are willing to ship it and pack it really well. So I like the image of a poodle, and then there's a little girl standing in front of the door. I just thought that was really, really cool, and this is going to make a really awesome display piece. Oh yeah, I've got some other stuff. Alright, so I picked this up at my local Salvation Army. It was $1.50. They had two of them, but unfortunately this little hole here was broken off, so I didn't get the other one. I know it's older because of the metal bottom, and I don't think they make stuff like this anymore. Well, like this anyway, and it's got a switch right here where you can adjust the light or turn it on and off. I thought that would be something cool to use at Christmas time, or maybe if I'm just going for like a vintage camp vibe, I don't know. It's more of a display piece, I think, than something you can use. Everything is plastic, there's no glass on it, so I thought that was really cool. Alright, this is not particularly old, but it's definitely cool, and I thought it was older than it was. It's this really cool fish teapot. You boil the water, and when it's hot enough, it'll whistle, and then water will start forming up in here. This cost me $4, and it's not in usable or functional condition, unfortunately, and I'll show you guys what I mean. You can see all the enamel's all rusted, the bottom's got some issues. I think it would just be a cool piece to use for decoration with a bunch of nautical stuff. Also, someone did try to replace the screw, and they completely jammed it in there, so you can't really take it out. I tried unscrewing it so I could put a proper screw in there, and it just will not budge, so... Again, just another fun display piece. It cost me $4. It's from 1992. It's made by Kamenstein, and if it were in functional condition, it's probably worth only about 16 to 20 bucks. Since this one's not in functional condition, it's just going to be something I hold on to and use for display in my future house. So I like that a lot, and I thought that was rather unique. Even if it's not as old as I thought it was, I still like it. Alright, and the last two pieces that I want to share with you all in this haul, something from my childhood. This is a Bug's Life electronic talking hopper. I guess it's a room guard. I did scan this into Amazon and nobody else had it, so that might be a good sign if I decide to sell it. It was $5. It doesn't work, of course, because I'm sure this button has been pushed numerous times over the years. It is from KB Toys, so that kind of gives you a little indication of how old this thing is. There is not a year on it, unfortunately, so, I mean, I assume this is probably from the late 90s because that's when the movie came out. This movie, along with the first Toy Story, hold very special places in my heart because when I was sick, I don't know if I've ever told any of you guys this, but back in 2000, I was about 4. It was just around the turn of the new year. I had severe seizures, and I was rushed to the hospital. I had meningitis, which is, I can't even remember what that is. Just to help keep me calm, and, you know, of course I was a little medicated. And so we would just watch this movie and Toy Story. I've seen it thousands of times now throughout my 23, almost 24 years on this earth. But yeah, they completely wiped me clean. I don't have any memories or recollection of that entire experience, I guess you could call it. I do know that they pumped a lot of medication into me, I guess, to help my immune system fight off this disease. So that might be very logical and gives me a great explanation of as to why I don't get sick very often, which is nice. I mean, I get a cold here or there, and a couple years ago I had bouts of the flu, but they didn't last very long, so that was really nice. So I guess I mean, as scary as that, folks, and for, you know, going through what I did, it definitely helped me in the long run. I'm thankful that I don't get sick very often. Happy note. So the last item that I'd like to share with you all is probably going to be the most profitable item in the
video, and it is this awesome light fixture in the shape of a spaceship. This was originally 25 bucks, and I got it 50% off at $12.50. No cracks or chips. I am going to clean it up just a little bit to see if I can shine it up and make it look a little bit more pretty than it already is. It comes with the original cast aluminum electrical component along with the 3 chains to hold it in place. This will definitely appeal to mid-century collectors and people who like to restore homes with the original hardware and everything, so I think I can probably get anywhere from maybe $100 to $150. I'm just guessing. Probably going to throw it up for $150 or best offer and see what someone is willing to give me for it. So from $12.50 to over $100 bucks, I think that's a pretty good investment. So that's everything in this haul video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, click the subscribe button if you'd like to see when new videos are posted. Also, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to know when a new video is posted. All the links to my social media accounts are down below, as well as my Instagram and eBay names. Sorry, I meant social media with eBay. You get the picture. So yeah, that's everything I have for you, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.